If you have ever looked at another coach on social media and thought, I wish I was as successful as them. Why am I not successful as them? I wish I was having a greater impact. I wish I had more clients. I wish I had more money as those coaches. One of these 7 reasons is probably why. Firstly, poor money management and poor money mindset. One of the biggest problems that I see with coaches, and myself included in the past, was having one bank account for your business and for your personal. Essentially, what will happen there is every single bit of money you get from the business will go into this bank account, and then we're also using it for business expenses, tax, which gets lost in the dust, and essentially then creates a surprise tax bill, which is never a surprise because it happens every single year. We then use it for bills, we use it for meals out, we use it for just petrol money, spending on personal things, and again, it's all in one pot, which then just gets drained, and nothing is compartmentalized for you to be separating the business and its expenses and your personal life. So a solution for this is, one of the first things that I would recommend to do is get at least 2 bank accounts where you can then have business money in one, your own personal money in another, and that'll massively help compartmentalize everything you're doing and allow you to see what's the business, what's yours, and then actually save up for tax as well, which will give you massive respite in the old mental sense. Second is not knowing who coaches are talking to or working with in terms of social media. A lot of problems stem from this. If you aren't sure of who it is you're working with specifically in terms of your target market, you then don't know what problems they have, what solutions you need to provide, what dream result is for them, and therefore marketing just becomes, I'm not quite sure. You'll sit down every single day and just think, shit, what am I going to actually write today, which is never a good spot to be in. So the first thing I would recommend is identify the type of person you actually want to be working with. Is it mums? Is it dads? Is it business owners? Is it busy professionals? Whatever that now is, as soon as you've locked that down, you can then actually work out what the problems they are, what solutions you need to provide, and what the success is, so you can do a far better job of marketing and actually know what you need to write when it comes to your social media posts. That, because of not knowing who it is you work with, that will then impact doing the work essentially. This is the third one. If you don't know who you're working with, again, you'll sit down at the end of the day, try and figuring out what it is you need to write for social media content, but then procrastinate because you're not sure. An hour will go by and you'll think, I'll just post anything, and then tomorrow I'll try and work it out. So because you don't know who you're working with, it prevents you from actually doing the work that is required. So again, if you know who you're working with, it will be far easier to actually come up with the content and actually then do the work rather than twiddling our thumbs. Again, myself included in the past, I'm not getting anything further. Because we're not then doing the work, this is number 4, that then knocks into our confidence, because if we now sit down at the laptop each and every day and weeks and months go by without actually doing the work, without actually progressing forwards with the confidence we need, that then impacts our confidence and self-belief. So confidence and self-belief is a huge one. If you don't have the confidence and self-belief, you would then not be willing to risk certain elements of content. You're not going to be putting your neck out, which is required at times for that. Number 5 is going to be poor standards, because again, the knock-on effect of lacking self-belief and lacking confidence because of this trickle effect, that then impacts our standards. One of the biggest challenges I see with self-employed coaches and fitness professionals is because you are independent, you are on your own, it's a lonely job at times. Standards can slip without you realizing, because also there is not that level of accountability. So a solution for this is finding a coach that you can work with and or a business mentor, so you can have that community to bounce ideas around and make sure you're not making too much of risks when it comes to social media, for example, or business decisions. And it can also hold you to that higher level of accountability, which will hold your standards higher, which will allow you to then progress forwards with almost like a safety net around you, which would be absolutely fantastic. 2 more. The 6th one is taking business too personally. I see this from time and time again, and I think this applies to quite newer coaches who aren't quite financially stable. If you see someone that you've been talking to for a couple of weeks in your DMs and then you find out they've gone to another person, a lot of coaches take that hit quite personally, and they spend 1, 2, 3, maybe even a week's time to emotionally regulate and get themselves over that hump and then get back to work. So just now regulating your emotions is a huge one, and this is where the premise of what we do at the High Performance Coach and helping other coaches build their businesses, prioritizing you. Get the person thriving, the people and profit will follow. If you are as strong and as resilient as you can be, either physically and mentally, then you're not going to have to rebound as hard from that emotional damage and hit that we've taken from that, and not taking business too personally, so that if that does happen, we can just move on, knowing this is part and parcel of the business, and we're just going to get on with the next part of it there. And then finally, number 7, I see this all the time, and potentially one of the biggest barriers, which is maybe going to impact the 6 I've just spoke about there, which is not taking business seriously enough. Business doesn't have to be serious, but we have to be serious about business. A lot of the time, coaches tend to treat their business as if it's a job/hobby, and not giving it the respect, the attention, and also the time and patience required to grow the business. Because we spend a lot of time on our own with no accountability, with poor standards and lack of confidence, and a lot of it's done on our phone, it's not really viewed as important or professional because of that factor, a very small factor. We then don't treat it with, again, the respect, the time, the attention, the patience required to grow it. So those are the 7 things which I see. There are multiple other things which do impact why a coaching business may not be growing financially, impact wise, number of clients wise, but those are the 7 key factors there, hopefully giving you some solutions as well. If any of these resonated with you, or any that you've experienced, I would love to know in the comments. But thank you for watching, and any videos that you would like in terms of value adds on your journey to grow and develop your coaching business, just give a comment in the box below, and I'll be sure to get that recorded for you.